What up, everybody? I hope everyone's getting settled in. Okay. We're live, we're good, we're set.
We're as live as we're going to be.
Yeah? It's... I mean, I still got pulse.
Got your
There we
pulse?
go.
Okay, yep. Good evening, everyone. Everyone, welcome here. Hopefully you're enjoying your evening. My name's Aaron, and we're here on Talkin Geek. I'm the host, Aaron, and this is the amazing Robert.
Wow.
I'm going to add amazing to this.
I like that. You should introduce me every week.
As amazing?
Well, I mean, I want to expand your vocabulary, so a new adjective every week that is synonymous with amazing. So
Spectacular next week.
Superlative, you know.
So, yeah, we'll get you some new adjectives. We'll get some new ones.
Excellent.
So, I hope you all are enjoying your evening. Today we have a few different topics to talk about. You know, we had Fortnite breaking the other night. That blew up.
But it's back!
It is. It is back up. Blizzard banning Chung-Ni, I believe is how you say the last name. I apologize if I butchered your name, man. Also, Joker. Some news about Joker.
Yep.
The new Damage Control VR. New comics that have come out. A new casting for the Batman movie with Sparkly Batman.
I think his name is actually Bat. I think it's Robert
McBat.
Robert Pattinson. Batty
there you go.
Batty
Robert
McMadden.
I forgot his name.
Something
honestly.
like that. I don't know.
SpiderMan news with the new Venom movie, possibly. That'd be
Possibly.
interesting.
We'll see.
Some new games coming out and some comics that are coming out. So that's what we're gonna cover today, guys. First, how was y'all's weekend? You know?
Things are good.
That's
you
good.
know, obviously we've got Frank off camera as well, so you might hear him chime in. Kristen's
your
over
lovely
here
wife over
monitoring the chat. Yeah, my lovely wife is
Aw.
monitoring the chat.
Agitated. Yeah, she.
Wow.
That's terrible.
I'm not
But-
sick anymore. Yay.
Yeah, she's not sick.
back, but not on camera.
Nope, not at
Where
all.
she would break the camera with her loveliness.
Oh.
So,
I got a toothache, guys. So, last week if you saw, because it's still Hallow Geek, so we're still doing all of the Halloween themed stuff, ghost stuff. We'll have the recorded video of the Rainbow tracks later this week. It'll be uploaded. If you got a chance to see it last week live with Peter, he was there talking the little history about the tracks and how technically they're not really haunted. So
it was literally the origin story of Casper the Friendly Ghost. I'm just saying. It was like, but there's friendly children ghosts that help save you from the railroad tracks.
And
I'm like, it's Casper.
It's Casper, but Gravity is his name.
Yes, that's not.
So, if you guys get a chance, please check out the live video. Peter did a great job telling the history. He loves ghost stories. He loves talking about all this stuff. He'll give you the history of where it actually came from, too, what school bus was really hit. If you get a chance to watch that video. If you don't want to watch the live one, the edited will be up later this week. Some little graphics to it, of course, and there was some issues in the beginning with the camera and the sound, so that will be gone. So if you didn't like that, we'll make sure we'll put the correct video up, as well as tomorrow we'll have a gaming video up. So if you have been enjoying those, that'll be up tomorrow. And like last week, if y'all do remember, I did bring some zombie Skittles.
You did.
And I got hit with the bad one.
You got burned.
So this week,
It's called karma.
it was.
I had one after the show actually,
Oh, you did?
because Frank chickened out.
Yeah, Frank
And
chickened
so
out.
I
forgot
ended
about
up
that.
I ended up eating the one that he chickened out on, which was nasty, but I immediately ate a berry flavored one and it covered it up.
I should have done that.
You should have done.
But this week I don't know if y'all can see it very well, but we have the trolley, whatever. The Sour Bite Mystery Night Callers.
So once again, these are
Gamble.
Gamble
No, these aren't Gamble.
Gamble candies.
This
No?
is not like that. These are just like random flavors. We don't know what they are.
We just don't know what they are.
Yeah, but nothing like terrible.
Well, I have a
So-
terrible ability to tell you what flavors are, so I'm
we're gonna
something.
yeah.
Find out if I can tell you what
You're
it
gonna
is.
throw that finger when you're done, right?
Show you one.
Okay.
Oh! Off camera.
Almost
I
made it.
was hit Frank in
Throw
the
me
mouth.
one.
Just hit Frank in the face.
I don't know what flavor that was. Here. It was like a little soda pop. It's behind your laptop. It was like a little soda pop kind of flavor to these. So if you do want to check them out, I found them at a random grocery store, but
It's not bad.
it just says 2 mystery flavors. It doesn't really tell you what's what. What?
Oh, that one was bourbon flavored. Oh, no, that was...
That's the alcohol. So, if you want to try them out, guys, again, Halloween month,
Halloween,
I just want to talk a little about the little Halloween stuff every episode right now. But I think today, let's go straight into the news.
Okay.
So the first big thing we had was Fortnite essentially breaking. Season 10 dropped, and as Season 10 dropped, players were in the world playing, enjoying themselves, and then the event happened.
The event
To end all events. Essentially, a black hole formed and destroyed the entire world, kicking players out into the middle of space. They're just seeing this void. Your screen goes black. Thank you for playing the game. So some people were able to log back in, and for about 2 days, all Fortnite was this black hole with random numbers coming up. People believe they cracked it. It was actually a code from one of the storylines for the game. So it was kind of cool, but that's all we really got until today.
server maintenance for 2 days.
Exactly, that's really what it was. Server maintenance for
But that's
2
an
days.
awesome way to cover it up.
Yeah.
Make it part of the game, so you don't get mad.
Exactly. I mean, at one point,
People still got mad.
I'm sure people are that.
yesterday at about mid-afternoon, there were still 300,000 people on Fortnite's Twitch stream watching a black hole. 300,000 people, guys, were just sitting there. There's a black hole, guys.
Maybe some of our viewers were part of that 300,000.
Yeah, if any of you were, comment what you saw, who you watched even. That was kind of
That was
weird
an amazing marketing strategy, right?
that people did.
Hey,
It
we're
was a
gonna
really
just
good
put it
marketing.
into the game.
That's what they did essentially, guys, because as of this morning, Chapter 2 Fortnite has released. New area, new characters, new
It's back.
everything. Yeah, it came back.
And let me tell you, I have never played Fortnite or watched Fortnite. I don't know anything about Fortnite. So
I played a little
I'm
bit.
offering a lot of commentary on this particular
You are,
topic.
man.
On, obviously, this was a major event. I mean,
It was.
I am not a gamer. I think we've established that before.
Yes.
That's not my thing. But I heard about this. I knew about it. It was like a big thing.
Oh, yeah.
That happened. So obviously, Fortnite's huge. I mean,
It's the biggest
very
battle royale.
yeah. It's very it kind of crosses all genres. And, I mean, I'm a big sports guy actually, and there's a bunch of athletes that play it. That's like a big thing with them too. So. Yeah, it's obviously a huge game that a lot of people really, really enjoy, and so there was definitely a mild bit of freak out when the game went down.
If you get a
unexpected.
chance, look up some videos afterwards because there was. I want to say he looked like a football player. He's a big, brawly guy. The laptop show. I guess he was playing and his laptop went to the black hole. He punched the crap out of his laptop. Full on punched it, the screen flickered and everything, and his wife, girlfriend was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Seems like a
freaking
bad
out.
choice.
A little brother sister was recording everything. He was repeatedly punching his maybe 30-inch TV. He was just repeatedly punching it when the black hole came up. So people were freaking out. Like you said, it's just, people have been playing this for ever now. It feels like, and it hasn't been out that long.
I mean, what, 3-4 years, something like that?
About 4 years.
Yeah.
If you actually count how the game originally started, for people who remember what Fortnite was before what it is today, it came out about 7 years ago.
Okay.
So originally it was supposed to be this zombie survival game, and it has now become.
So
what it
Fortnite,
is.
the Old English term for 2 weeks. What you're saying is it's been around longer than those 2 weeks.
Longer than 2 weeks. Longer than a fortnight. Thank you,
Thank you
Abraham
for letting
Lincoln.
me
Appreciate
share.
that.
I'm really contributing to this conversation.
I'm glad you
as
are.
can
It's-
tell.
I know games are your big thing, so
I'm
there's a lot of
like
gaming news that's dropped.
about
So
Fortnite.
that's why you're eating the worms.
That's right.
So the other big thing that happened this past week, Blizzard banning Chung Ni, I believe is how you say that, and is Chung and G is his last name. So apologies if I butchered his last name. He is from Hong Kong. During a live stream after he won a tournament, he was officially banned for basically protesting against Hong Kong. And of course, Hong Kong is not happy about that.
Well,
So-
yeah, I mean, we don't want to get into the politics of the situation, but Hong Kong and, mainland China is kind of in this situation where it's, Hong Kong used to be part of the, England or the United Kingdom. And I think it was in the late 90s that they returned back to Chinese control, but they're under kind of a different set of rules and laws than the
So
rest
weird.
of China. And slowly but surely, China has been trying to remove those laws. They were supposed to have them for 50 years.
Oh, wow.
And China is basically trying to say, we don't want you to have those anymore because the rest of our citizens don't. And
Yep.
and so there's been a lot of protests in Hong Kong from the residents there who are protesting some of the rights being taken away that they
Yep.
were supposed to have, like I said, for 50 years based on that initial agreement. So it entered into the video game world with Blizzard, banning this particular player who I actually don't know the specifics. So was he was protesting the change of the laws from China, or he was protesting like he was anti-Hong Kong?
He's anti-Hong Kong.
Okay.
Because he's a dictator over there who's controlling everything.
Gotcha.
And apparently they don't want that. They want more rights, of course. So he was protesting. If I'm wrong, please someone fix me on that. But if I'm not mistaken, he's against the dictator they have over there. So the thing is, China, it doesn't have freedom of speech technically.
Nope.
So he can actually ban you from talking about stuff. He's actually banned. Technically, Winnie the Pooh has been banned from the country. I don't know if you know this. There's
Correct.
a meme out there, and
Right.
he looks like Winnie the Pooh. So he actually said ban Winnie the Pooh from China.
Right.
China's
Not this gamer you're talking about.
No, not the gamer. I'm sorry, the dictator
yeah.
of China.
I don't know his name.
I couldn't think of his name.
Zhao or
Rockets
Jing
are
or
actually
something.
banned in China too.
Yeah, there was a
one.
recent sports development that happened with the GM of the Houston Rockets that
Oh wow.
tweeted out about it. So
He just
obviously,
made a comment. We
Yeah.
support Hong Kong. We support democracy, and they made it.
yeah,
Dictator
turned into a big thing. So.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the problem right now. The reason it got so big, first of all, this was a live stream. They actually cut the live stream afterwards. They're holding all his money from winning. I believe by this time now they have released the funds to him, but I think there's still some strings attached to it if I was reading correctly. But yeah, Blizzard finally gave him back his money, but originally banned his money, banned him, and that was kind of it. But the other thing is too, Blizzard, is getting involved in this, and that's what caused this controversy. There's other companies who were very much like, you know what, we would have let this happen, blah, blah, blah. But we all don't know, like you said, all the politics behind it.
Yeah,
we don't want to get into that part.
And pretty much every company in the United States has some kind of, if they're a major company, they have some kind of tie or foothold with China. And, people are, obviously from a business standpoint, they're very wary of crossing China because that will hurt their bottom line. But on the other hand, if we're talking about human rights, is this a violation? But, it's a whole big thing. Blizzard got in the middle of it, and some people think they should just stick to games.
Yep.
Shouldn't involve themselves in politics.
That's the
it's gonna
backlash
be-
that the NBA commissioners
Yep.
are getting right now. That everybody's saying, well, you shouldn't have gotten involved. It's none of your business. He just made a comment. Why? I mean, are you anti, democracy?
Yeah.
So now he's getting that big backlash, but because China invests so much.
Yep.
And
into the
if
NBA.
I could also be wrong in this, I believe China also technically has like a 10% stakeholder in Blizzard.
I'm sure they do.
So if I'm not
somebody
mistaken-
in China does,
Yeah.
whether it's the actual government or not.
Yeah, somebody does. So that's why I believe Blizzard also kind of had to step in because they have to be like, well, crap, we technically are owned a little bit, so we got to keep our stockholders happy as well.
Yep.
So it's also those companies who are bashing them on the side. They're like, oh, we would have supported. It's very easy to say when you're not involved in the situation.
Yep.
Once you get involved, who knows what would happen with you? I mean, like somebody even commented out there, what happens if this was a white supremacist supporter? How would y'all do it? And it becomes a whole thing, and that's why it's like, if you're into games, guys, just stay away from it. Please. If you don't get into politics, if you can avoid it. There's a whole mess and a half there.
Yeah.
So last bit of game news. I'm gonna skip this other one real quick. Damage Control VR.
Yeah. So this is
That one you might know about.
So Marvel Studios they're obviously the studio that puts out all of the MCU movies, so
Yep.
all the Avengers movies, Iron Man movies, Captain America, all that stuff. It's all comes from Marvel Studios, and so they put out a new or they are putting out a new virtual reality experience where basically you can join in a battle with the Avengers. It's called Damage Control. So they kind of released a trailer for it. And I think it's coming out either later this month or early next month in a few different areas. So I don't think it's not going to be available here in San Antonio that I have knowledge of. But I think in Los Angeles and I think in New York and maybe somewhere else. So you're flying me out there. To, is that no? That's not happening.
The non-gamer. Let's fly the non-gamer out to this. That's
Hey.
perfect.
As the producer, is it in the book?
It's Marvel Studios, bro. That's my jam.
It's not in the book. Sorry.
Our producer said no.
Dang. Dang it.
So, Philip, if you're watching, or Sam from any of the cyber cafes in San Antonio, could y'all get this game somehow?
Yeah,
I'd
it'd be
appreciate
pretty cool.
it.
It'd be definitely. I mean, a virtual reality experience where you get to step in the game.
You're a recruit, I believe, right? Like you're not even one of the main characters. You're just someone.
Correct. Yeah, you don't get to like play as one of the other main characters, but basically you kind of what it looks like your character is basically like Iron Black Panther. Like it looks like you're in a Black Panther suit, but you can also like fly and do stuff like that Iron Man can.
Yeah.
All of the characters that you're interacting with and everything they're all the movie characters. I mean, this is Marvel Studios, so it's got Paul Rudd and Evangeline Lilly is Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's got all these different actors and actresses from the actual studios that are in this virtual reality experience. So it looked pretty cool. Definitely, if you have a chance to do it, I would definitely say take that chance.
In those cities that get it.
Yeah, I do not believe we will have the chance.
Sam, somebody, anyone.
Because somebody won't send me to Los Angeles.
Producer, we got money.
I would have thought damage control.
We got money.
Aren't they the ones that usually clean up after the security?
So they clean up. So technically, like with Spider-Man, the original Homecoming, that's what was going on with the Vulture. Right. He was doing damage control.
I have the limited series when it was like.
Yeah, they obviously took the name from the comics, but it does not appear to be tied in
directly. They just need somebody to help clean up the city afterwards, so that's what you are, pretty much, basically.
You get a mob. It's a virtual mob.
That'd be great. You get to drive the dump truck that's hauling all the crap away, right?
Guys, I can help you fight. I have an Iron Man suit. No. Drive the car. I got this. Don't worry. I got this. That's all I want to see. Like Tony fly by and be like, no. Go keep driving.
Choose your weapon. It's either a
that's pretty funny.
Vacuum cleaner is the upgrade.
That's funny.
That would be so wrong and terrible at that point.
But it would also be great.
I just said what?
What?
I was hearing ourselves over there by our producer helping.
That's all right. We're good.
Yeah. So, kind of going to more your route, sir, I would think.
Movies.
Yeah.
Yay!
You're excited, I'm sure.
I like movies.
So we all, I think, finally saw, except our cameraman, finally saw Joker.
I did. We saw Joker, so we didn't get a chance to talk about it last week, but we can talk a little bit. We'll just give you a tease this week. We do have a review coming out later this week, so you'll get our full thoughts on it. But just quick thoughts. I mean, in terms of the actual movie, what did you think about it? Did you enjoy your experience? I know you bring a lot of comics history to it, but we'll talk about that in a second, and we'll definitely talk about that in a review. But just on its surface, the movie, did you enjoy it?
It is a good psychological thriller. It's a good watch this person have a breakdown. That's what I think as a movie.
Yeah.
What about you?
I agree. I think that it was a very good movie. I obviously don't have the same history with the comics as you do, but I mean, Batman's my guy, so Joker's my villain.
Yeah.
And as much as I enjoyed this movie, it did feel like it was just called Joker because they would make money off of the name Joker. Exactly. There really wasn't much in the movie that I would say is, hey, this is a Gotham movie. Like they call it Gotham. There's some characters that are from DC Comics that are in the movie. Obviously, but it certainly feels like it could have just been, a script that was written and then they changed some character names later, added a couple scenes here and there, and said, hey, you've got a Joker movie. Exactly. That doesn't mean it wasn't a good movie. It was.
No, yeah.
But for me, it didn't necessarily feel like it was the Joker. It just felt like this is a madman who is a murderer, which is what the Joker is.
Yeah.
But there wasn't anything that made me go, there's no Batman, so spoiler. No. How do you have a Joker movie with no Batman?
Yeah, I didn't like. I'll put it this way. I'm glad you said that. And I'm not to give any spoilers away right now because we don't want to talk too much. But I don't like what they did with the Waynes. I'll put it that way.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I can see that. I think that they definitely go an interesting route.
Yes.
Different than what we've seen before.
Yeah.
And I think it worked for this movie.
It did, and that was what it was.
But it is certainly not, again, it's not comic faithful in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And so, for someone that's got that history with the comics, I'm sure that was kind of frustrating to you. You didn't really like it.
It was comic-wise,
Yeah.
terrible. Like if I said that if they told me this was a DC, this is the Joker origin, I hated the whole movie.
Yeah.
I would say I don't care what else you did, but I will say this, and I said it prior, before the movie came out, after the movies come out, and I'm going to say it again. They made this movie to give Joaquin Phoenix an Oscar. Because I will say this, that was an Oscar
His
performance.
performance was fantastic.
Yes.
He did a really great job. So
Calling it
we'll
down,
have
Oscar.
more thoughts. We'll see.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other movies still to come out.
True.
But we'll have more thoughts in our review. But tell us what you think. Kristen's in the chat right now, so pop in there with some of your thoughts.
Exactly.
Obviously, this movie made a ton of money, so I'm guessing a lot of people that are watching saw the movie.
saw it, yeah.
So let us know what you thought. Maybe we're way off base. Maybe you think it's perfect for a DC Comics Joker.
Exactly.
Maybe you enjoyed it. Maybe you didn't like the movie at all. So let us know what you think in the comments. And I know there was one other piece that you did want to talk about in particular with this movie. So
Wait, with this one or with the other movie?
I don't know. I mean, I thought that there was...
If I keep going down the rabbit hole, I'm not gonna.
All right,
I'm not gonna
okay.
get out. So I got to be careful because I will keep going down this rabbit hole. And so definitely, that's gonna be in our review. So
Yeah.
please, keep watching us, guys. Like that, page. Hit the subscribe button. The videos will be up hopefully maybe later this week. I got a lot of editing to do, and if you have watched any of our other videos, I just want to throw a quick shout out to our other guy helping us, Conrad. He is actually editing a lot of our videos as well when I don't have the ability to. So big shout out to him, guys. If you enjoy what you've been watching, some of the stuff he's edited, his name is in the credits. If you want to, talk to him as well, you can reach out to him. His link is in our YouTube descriptions, and he will gladly help you edit. So just quick shout out to him, guys. I want to thank him for helping us as well.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job.
He has. So, but the other big news I'm happy for the movies.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're sticking with Batman, right?
Yeah, he just happens to be red, blue, and has a spider on his chest instead.
Oh, okay. So you want to skip over the Batman?
Batman yeah, I forgot the other Batman. I forgot the other Batman news.
Yeah.
Because he sparkles. I mean, why do I talk about sparkling? So the other news that's come out recently was they have casted another person in the new Batman reboot.
Yep.
I guess technically, with sparkly Batman, and that would be Catwoman. Has been casted as
did
Zoe Kravitz.
Zoe Kravitz, yeah. She's obviously people may recognize the name Lenny Kravitz, famous musician. So this is his daughter. She's been acting for a long time. She actually was in X-Men First Class.
That's true. Died in like the first 20 minutes.
No, she stayed until the end of the movie. I don't think she actually. Yeah, I don't think she.
Got
died.
her with what's his face, the guy that died. The one that was supposed to evolve to.
Oh yeah, the evolving dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't
No.
she also Jason Momoa's stepdaughter?
Is she now?
I have no idea.
Oh,
That's Jason
so that
Momoa's
also explains a
stepdaughter.
lot now.
Yeah.
Well,
Interesting.
there you go.
Side news, my
Anywho,
producer.
She's
so
in the family.
Zoe Kravitz, she was in the Divergent series. She's been in quite a few things. She's been in a couple TV series and stuff. The things I've seen her in, I actually haven't really enjoyed her in, so I'm
Same.
not necessarily super excited about her being cast as Catwoman. Catwoman is one of my favorite characters
Really?
in the Batman world because that relationship that Catwoman and Batman have has always been super interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of that rivalry while also having that attractiveness there, and it's always kind of obviously he's got his Batman's got his code, and but that's the one villain that he always seems to really struggle with. Sometimes he wants to join in, sometimes he wants to help her, different things. So it'll be interesting to see what route they go with her morality in this movie. I mean, obviously in the original Batman movies with Michael Keaton, Catwoman was played by Michelle Pfeiffer.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
And played fantastically. A lot of people consider that the definitive Catwoman. I would have to agree. Obviously, you're comparing her to Halle Berry. And,
I forgot about that one on purpose.
In The Dark Knight Rises, she was again portrayed, and that was
Margie? No, not
it was
Margot.
the actress who was in The Princess Diaries.
Yeah,
and I can't
think
remember
of
her name at the moment. But I didn't like that portrayal of the character.
It was an interesting one.
It
but
was
not-
it was weird.
No.
So I don't know. It'll be really interesting to see what direction they go with
Yeah.
this character. But for a character that I do really, really enjoy, I'm not excited to see Zoe Kravitz take the role. I hope that she does really well. She just hasn't really impressed me in the stuff she's been in.
Same. I'm in that same boat. I've only seen her in, of course, X-Men First Class and the Divergent series, and that's it. And neither one of them. I
Yeah.
really forgot about her in X-Men First Class till before we went live. You and Frank were talking about it. I was like, oh yeah, she is in that one.
Yeah, she's very forgettable in that movie.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting. But the good thing is going with a not no name actor, but not a lister.
Yeah, she's not a
that
star or
might
anything.
that might help. Maybe this will be her breakout. Maybe she can finally hone herself and say, okay, this is what I'm going to be doing. This is where I want my career to go. So that'll be interesting. On a side note too, I forgot to post this. The CW's Crisis on Infinite Earths had some more announcements.
Yeah, they just keep adding on more and more characters. Like, they
So
just
if you
everyone.
haven't seen, Lucifer's coming out now. So
I saw
Lucifer was actually caught on set, and so there's talks that he's actually going to be in there. I forgot the actor's name, but he will be playing Lucifer Morningstar. They're saying.
Yep.
We have, of course, all of our Supermans. We also now have confirmed at least 2 Batmans for sure are going to be in it. One is Kevin Conroy, who voiced, if y'all don't know, he voiced Batman in the animated series back in the 90s.
Yeah, he's done
Up
a bunch
until
of the
now,
done a
mostly.
bunch of the animated movies as well. They've
Exactly.
released. Yeah.
Over the years, he's just been Batman.
Yep.
But now he actually gets to physically be Batman. So he will be actually in one of the Earths that they go to. He will be there, and it looks like he actually has Ace with him, who is the Rottweiler he usually keeps by him when he's
Nice.
older. I think they actually had him when he was younger too, but I just remember him from Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of screenshots out there with Kevin Conroy sitting in a chair, and you see the Rottweiler right here next to him. They did show a couple little seconds of him talking, so it's like, okay, that's really cool. The other Batman is Michael Keaton's going to make a interesting appearance in a very strange way. From the original movie that Michael Keaton was in, I think the actor's name is Watt, W-A-H-U-T, I think his name was. He played, I just forgot who he played in the movie. But anyway, one of the actors from the movie is actually going to make a guest appearance, and he's going to be sitting in a chair, and they've already filmed it, people have seen it, and he's holding a Gotham newspaper, and it has a picture of Michael Keaton on it. And so it is referencing Batman on it.
I see.
So that is how...
he's not making a live action
Nope.
appearance in it, but they are using his image as Batman.
Mm-hmm. And he's still...
in the show.
It is a young Batman, too. So it is Michael Keaton from back then.
From 89, sure.
So it's interesting that they threw that in there. People are trying to read. There's a date on the newspaper, but you can't zoom in. You can't enhance the paper enough right now to see, like, oh, it's set in this time frame. So this is when everything's going on.
Yeah.
And again, I apologize if anyone knows the actor that was holding the paper. I know he is from the original film.
Was he a henchman?
No, he was somebody. He was one of the reporters. He was the reporter guy that was following him, the goofy one.
So he's the
Robert Wool.
Yeah, that's it.
So yeah,
That's
so
what his name is.
he's the guy that's because it's Kim Basinger as Vicky Vale and
Robert Wool.
yeah, they're kind of the
reporter.
investigative reporters that are on the Batman story.
Exactly.
That
So it's Robert Wool reading the paper.
I see.
So he's going to be on a bench. I think he's on a bench, they said. He's reading the paper. They already shot his scene. People have already caught it. And then I forgot the
the
headline.
most memorable part of
So-
that movie, that character.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's so random, too, to bring him out, I thought. But I mean, I guess, who else? Because you really can't.
He was a big star back then.
Yeah, back then he was. I mean, but, like, you can't really get Michael Keaton to come out. You're not going to get, in that movie, who was the villains?
Well, Jack
you had-
Nicholson died.
Jack Nicholson's dead. Penguin essentially died as
Danny
well.
DeVito dies. You
You
know
have
what? You know who
Catwoman.
would have been perfect and who they should have gotten? Lando Calrissian himself, Billy
Oh
D.
my
Williams.
gosh.
People forget he was Harvey Dent in the first two.
Oh my gosh, he
was
was.
Harvey Dent in the first two movies, and he
I
never
forgot
got his
about
chance
that.
to play Two-Face because when Tim Burton stopped directing them, he ended up dropping
Yeah.
out. And of course, we got that terrible Tommy Lee Jones performance as Two-Face.
Thank you, Joe Schumacher, in that terrible
so,
era.
Yeah, no, that's the worst. But
Um,
it would have been awesome if we'd gotten Billy D. Williams.
That would have been cool. So they have at least referenced Kevin Conroy, and they're saying that actually might link all the animated as now canon because he is in it. They say there's ways that he might be able to link the old stuff. We have Michael Keaton now, Batman in there, so we have those two confirmed Batman. We have Brandon Roth reprising Superman.
We didn't get Sad
Um,
Batfleck?
We don't talk about him. He just died in his universe. Our
So-
producer's waving at us. Hang on, sorry.
Sean wants to know if we think that we'll get a Nova movie, and who will play him should be Richard Rider or Sam Alexander.
So
Ooh, a Nova movie.
Nova, I've loved Nova. I've always loved Nova. He's one of my favorite cosmic characters. That's possibly my next tattoo.
Young Nova.
So I like Richard Rider. Richard Rider as older Nova becomes Nova Prime.
Yeah.
I would love to see him as it. And I was talking to somebody about this. I would love to see Stephen Amell be Nova Prime.
So just to
grittiness, man.
to build off that a little bit, Kevin Feige and the Russo brothers, and I think it's McFeely is one of the writers from Avengers Endgame. I don't remember, but they've actually been talking about all the different characters that appear in that major end battle in Endgame.
And supposedly Richard Rider Nova's in there.
Nova makes an appearance in that movie. Apparently, he shows up at the end to see.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I haven't picked out. It's like the tiny. He doesn't get obviously a focus. It's just on the huge. The splash page shot that you get. That you get him showing up. So I definitely could see them making a Nova movie. I think they would introduce him. Possibly in a Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3?
I don't think it's going to be Guardians.
As Guardians.
Okay.
I think what it's going to be is, because we've had Nova already, the Nova Corps.
We had Nova Corps and Nova Prime.
But they weren't how they are in the comics.
Right.
So I think...
and you got to remember, that planet was basically decimated or destroyed by Thanos when he went to get the Power Stone.
Exactly. So I don't think we're going to get those Novas. I don't think it's going to be Guardians. I think it's going to come out in Doctor Strange with the multiverse. Because now we can technically fix the Nova Corps to what it was supposed to really be, these rocket, the human rockets. Because that's what Nova is. He's not anything like with these ships. Dude, it's going to fix so much, I think.
I think you're maybe putting too much stock in that movie. I don't think
I'm going to put all of it in there.
I don't think it's going to change as much as we think it is.
Going all in.
And I don't think it's necessarily going to focus on. I don't think it's going to focus on the cosmic stuff as much. I think we've got the Eternals, we've got Guardians, maybe potentially Fantastic Four. Those are those cosmic movies that I think are coming.
Warlock is going to come out.
Adam Warlock is definitely coming in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
So
I might tie him in.
I think Warlock is probably going to be the villain.
Of
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And so I think if they're going to introduce Nova during Phase 3, that's the movie I see it happening in.
So who do you think would play
Phase 4.
Phase 4. I know what you meant. So going off his question, I think Stephen Amell would be a good choice.
Yeah.
What about you? Who do you think could be the human rocket? Because, again, I love Nova. I think Stephen Amell can do it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put my money on him.
I kind of hope that it's someone we don't know. If you think back to some of these actors that got cast, they were smaller actors, coming from TV. Chris Pratt as Star-Lord. Chris Evans was a minor star, and he'd been in the Fantastic Four movies, but wasn't major. Chris Hemsworth kind of came out of nowhere. Wasn't a major star or anything. So I hope they kind of go that route.
That'd be interesting.
I don't necessarily have anyone particularly in mind.
No one on TV that's caught your attention.
Kind of hard to think.
I think the other ML brother, the younger brother.
His younger brother might.
Firestorm.
Yeah, he played Robbie Amell.
And they definitely. They've been plucking actors from Game of Thrones. We've already seen.
True.
I think both. Peter Dinklage was in Avengers.
He was Dwarf.
We know Kit Harington and. Richard Madden, are both going to be in the Eternals, I believe. So they were Jon Snow and Robb Stark.
They go for that because that's going to draw. People are going to come because of the name, though.
Yeah,
but like you said, if we go smaller,
and so that's where maybe Nikolai Coster-Waldau, who played Jaime Lannister, I could see him pulling off a Nova. If we're going to stick in that Game of Thrones.
That would be interesting.
World. I want the Mountain to play Juggernaut.
That'd be interesting.
I think they've already said that they're going to fold Deadpool in potentially the MCU, and so Juggernaut was a CGI character in Deadpool 2, if you recall, actually voiced by Ryan Reynolds. So I don't know if they'll bring that.
It'll be interesting.
A live action version. They'll just keep that on CGI, and I think it worked.
It did. It really worked a lot better. So, we have, again, kind of shifting back. We got a lot of
CW. We're back in the MCU.
Yeah, that's true. We can keep going with the MCU then, because we got Venom news.
Sort of. Yeah, one of...
Are they going to do it right?
Well, so a Sony... I don't know if it was I can't remember if it was a producer or an executive at Sony, basically said, in an interview that they are building towards a Spider-Man and Venom confrontation.
Yeah.
That's the word he used. That's it. That's what the story is. And, obviously Venom with Tom Hardy came out last year. The Tom Holland Spider-Man movies.
Yep. Have not talked about
first two have come out. Now the third one was just, kind of Sony and Marvel came together again and are going to make that movie. I'm of the opinion that I think they're going to make that Tom Holland's exit from the MCU. I think they might have him show up again, maybe in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Because they did say he's going to appear in one more Marvel Studios movie. But I think they're really going to build the story to let him go play somewhere else, and maybe eventually down the line they'll bring him back in for additional stories. But and so it was interesting to hear them say, basically, hey, we want to put Spider-Man and Venom together based on the Venom movie and the not at all portrayal. I mean, Tom Hardy, I love the guy as an actor. He did not play Eddie Brock. The character. Like that was not, they called him Eddie Brock in the movie, but that was not Eddie Brock.
No, it really wasn't.
And there was no mention of Peter Parker or Spider-Man in that movie. In the Spider-Man movies, there's been no mention of Venom. So, given Sony's track record, I'm not super pumped about this news. Going, yeah, they'll do it. They'll do it organically, and they'll find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
I sat through Spider-Man 3 and The Amazing Spider-Man 2, where they tried to jam all these characters and storylines together, and I'm going, please don't do it again.
It's definitely going to be one of those, we need Kevin to help us with Venom. And how are we going to tie this together? We'll pay Kevin money now.
Yeah, I don't think they will. I think they're ready to be on their own.
They really are, and my worry is they're going to do the two movies, for Spider-Man for MCU, and they're just going to throw, hey, here's Spider-Man, and Venom's going to be like, what? And I really don't think it's going to work.
I just didn't like the way he played the character. He just seemed
The
like
script-
he tried to be funny, he tried to be humorous.
I enjoyed the Venom movie, but
for what
that was not Eddie Brock.
No.
I mean, the investigative reporter, that's not Eddie Brock.
I think if he would have played it more like his character in Warrior, where he was a lot darker, he hated the world.
Yeah, and that was not the movie that they were going for.
Honestly,
he was just upset. He was just mad all the time. That would have been Eddie Brock.
You've read the comics too. He reminded me way more of when the Scorpion had the Venom suit.
Yeah.
Correct.
Because he was just straight up whatever, kind of down, and then he got the suit and he's like, ooh, maybe I should have some power as the movie continued. That's how Eddie was like, hey, you know what, I kind of like this. And once he accepted it finally.
Yeah, well,
and that's how Scorpion
Brock was. He was like that in the beginning because I think in the comics he's happy-go-lucky. I'm a reporter.
Yeah, but then Spider-Man slowly ruins his life.
Spider-Man totally ruins his life.
Or at least from his perspective.
Yeah,
Spider-Man
and supposedly this takes place after Spider-Man or after the incident.
Yeah,
it's
gonna be weird.
It does make
at the
sense.
Bugle.
So. What's up,
producer keeps looking at us.
So Sean also wants to know if we think that if we think that we'll see a Master of the Universe movie, and if we think that Sony should give it to Netflix.
Well, I mean, I do know that there's been a script for Master of the Universe going around for years.
Yeah,
they've been trying to get it made in a lot of different iterations, and I think that I don't think there's a huge appetite for it from an audience standpoint. I think that you really have to thread the needle, and I think that there's been a lot of talk that they're let's make it. We can make it now because Guardians, and it's like Master of the Universe is not Guardians. Don't do that. It's Lord of the Rings meets Star Wars. That's Masters of the Universe.
I think it would be so better one because the technology's a lot better now. Because I remember when the Dolph Lundgren one came out, and I was like, this is awesome, and then I was like.
Yeah. They could definitely make it better than the one they made, but that doesn't mean it would be good. I think it'll get made eventually, but I'm not excited for it, especially not if Sony's doing it.
That's where I kind of agree. So to go off Sean, your question, I would say give it over to Netflix. They have done pretty well with some of the older, stuff.
Sure.
Voltron. That actually was really good. I don't know if y'all watched the new stuff that they did for Voltron. Yeah, that actually was really good. It was animated, but it was really good.
Sure.
I honestly, I don't know how many people are out there going to agree with me on this. I enjoyed Bright, the one with Will Smith and that whole, Yeah, or something. Yeah, that one I really enjoyed. So I think Netflix, if they take their time and they work it well, they could get a good movie out of it, or maybe a good little 8 episodes or something. So they don't have to rush to make 3 or 4 movies. We can just make 8 or 9 episodes, and look, there we go. We told a whole story of Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, I think that there's potential there to tell a really good story with Masters of the Universe. The lore is great. The characters are great. Yeah. Like, you can do it. I think that right now there's just, at least from what I've heard, it sounds like what they're trying to make is a movie that isn't Masters of the Universe.
No.
They're trying to capitalize on, something like Guardians of the Galaxy. And that's not Masters of the Universe, and I don't want that for Masters of the Universe.
That's why I say it needs to go to Netflix.
I think if Netflix picks it up, there's so many characters in Masters of the Universe that it's a long run series because you could bring somebody new out. Every season.
Well, then we got,
obviously it doesn't have to just be Netflix. I mean, there's a lot of different streaming services. Amazon Prime does their stuff. Hulu puts out YouTube stuff.
Everybody they did really good with The Boys.
That was Amazon, right?
Yeah,
The Boys.
That was Prime.
Oh, I forgot about that one. There's a lot out there. Prime's holding a lot, and so is Netflix and Hulu. So there's potential. If it gets sold, I think it would work.
Throw it to HBO.
HBO. Oh my gosh, yeah. No, they're like $1 million episodes. Yay. Great. HBO Max, $20 a month, guys.
All English actors.
Yeah. Oh God. So wrapping up some last bit news, guys. Some comics have come out this week. We have Dawn of X Primer, which is an X-Force comic, is up for pre-order with the series of the mutants putting together their version of essentially the CIA. It'll have 2 teams consisting of special ops and an intelligence gathering. Some characters right now are going to be Jean Grey, Sage, Wolverine, and of course many other ones. This reminds me a little bit of about 10 years ago. They did something like this with X-Force, X-Men. They had all these different teams, and Cyclops took over as like the head of everybody,
right? And
literally created the X-Force to be the freaking assassins of everybody. It was Wolverine, X-23, what's the Warpath, I believe, right? And all the ones that were like, yeah, we don't mind killing. We're your hit squad. Just call us up. We'll do it.
Sure.
And of course, we're celebrating 80 years right now of somebody's birthday.
Yeah, I mean, Batman, it was like, a few weeks ago was Batman Day, so we're in the 80th year, so I think we're just going to be celebrating all year.
Yeah, exactly.
Batman, he's amazing.
Exactly.
And I definitely think, and I'm pitching this to Aaron right now, he doesn't know what I'm about to pitch. We are going to make this video.
What?
A Spider-Man versus Batman, where we go through the history of the characters, and we talk about why Batman is better than Spider-Man.
But why Batman can never beat Spider-Man.
Yeah, but he could.
No, you know what? I'm going to point this out. I'm going to throw another YouTube channel out there. Death Battle, Batman versus Spider-Man. They've done it and proven Spider-Man will beat him.
That's wonderful, but we're not Death Battle, and I will make a better argument than whoever made that argument for Batman before.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. So for DC Comics, for Joker fans out there, DC has released Joker's Harley Quinn, or just Harley, I guess. Joker and Harley. Criminals Sanity, issue number 1 came out on the 9th. Along with the Joker Year of the Villain number 1 has come out. I believe just as Joker has a birthday, I think this year, like 60, 70.
They're starting to capitalize on this.
So, yeah, they're putting their money on it. So that's come out for DC. So if you're a big Joker fan, definitely go check them out. If you enjoyed the movie, you like that psychological side, Joker he is really jacked up in the head. So I really recommend reading some of those comics.
He's a very well-adjusted young man. I don't know what you're talking about.
We'll go with that. Just, Joker gas.
Golden member of society.
I mean, if you can't randomly kill people, what can you do?
What can you do?
Be a guy who hides in a bat suit and loses to spiders all the time?
I mean, apart from losing to spiders, I think that's a... Batman's an insane person. I think this is what we know.
Yeah, he is.
So, are you going to put your money on an insane person, or are you going to put your money on a little kid? I'm going with the insane person.
Who's also one of the smartest people in Marvel.
Psychologically affected characters. I mean,
Spider-Man's not as bad as Batman.
Not as Spider-Man. I'm talking about Batman and Joker.
Oh,
well, yes,
Joker. Yeah, they're the opposite side of the same coin. Have you watched the Killing Joke animated movie?
I did.
I actually rewatched it the other night before I watched the Joker movie.
Did you skip past the first 25 minutes?
Yeah.
if you haven't seen it, skip past the prequel. No, it's not that it's slow. It's just they wrote a new prequel thing with I think it's Black Mask.
And then essentially he's supposed to become.
And then it's Batwoman. And there's a really weird scene where Batwoman and Batgirl and
That's
Batman
true.
have sex, and it's really
Yeah, it
and
gets
I
awkward.
don't like it at all.
I hate that opening.
It's the worst.
It was like, how can we make the short comic a little bit longer?
Yeah, and then they
So-
made it rated R, like they were gonna actually do something dark with it, but
they didn't.
there was no
No.
reason that movie needed to be rated R. I went
So-
to the theater to see that movie, and I was very.
I'm glad I didn't. So one of the other good things, shifting from a darker tone, DC has teamed up with Kirk Skoggs, and they've released a kid-friendly graphic novel back on October 1st, and it's called The Secret Spiral of Swamp Kid, who's actually tied in with Swamp Thing. So they actually tied that together. We found it the other day. It's cool looking. It actually looks like a spiral notebook when you grab it, but it's actually a nice hardback cover.
Oh, nice.
And it has a little spiral drawn on it. We took a look at some of the pages. It looks really interesting, really fun. So if you want to slowly get your kids in, but not, especially with DC right now, they write a lot of dark stuff. This is going to be a lot more for kids. It is very kid friendly. It talks about how he is and how essentially he became Swamp Kid, and Swamp Thing does make his appearance in there. I don't want to give out too many details, but if you're a fan of DC Comics and want to get your kids slowly involved, I recommend it.
Yeah.
It was an interesting little read. It was really cute. I like the artwork is very kiddish too. It's not like all these dark details. It's very bright and vibrant colors, especially with the greens that they use for the Swamp Thing and for the kids Swamp Kid. So
Right.
I
So
recommend it.
right after that, they should go into Watchmen, right? Your
Yeah,
kids.
watch Watchmen right afterwards. Duh. I mean, pick up
Well,
the
not
comics.
yeah, exactly.
And then V for Vendetta. Pick up that as well right afterwards. Teach your kids
Perfect.
that.
Yeah.
Killing Joke comic. Pick that up too
Oh
right
yeah,
after that
for
too.
sure.
The
Perfect.
Crow,
The Crow. Oh yeah, James O'Barr, the Crow. Yeah.
Punisher.
Punisher. Oh yeah,
anything with Punisher.
gotta go Punisher after
Anything
that.
Frank Miller.
Oh yeah, Alan Moore, Frank Miller,
Sin
all that
City.
stuff.
Sin City,
City.
for sure.
Just don't
Yeah.
watch the movie. Do not watch Sin City the movie.
Well, yeah. I mean, the first one's okay.
The first one's okay.
Don't
That's
watch
where
it
it stopped.
Kill for.
Don't watch Spirit.
Spy Kids, Mom.
The Spirit.
That
You
was
don't
terrible.
love the Spirit?
No.
The Phantom.
Nobody
So,
loves
oh
the Spirit.
gosh, no one liked that one either. So
We're putting
Coming
out stuff
out-
from the closet now.
yeah, we really are.
Hey, well,
Dick Tracy.
No.
I
So
actually,
for,
I actually just recently watched Flash Gordon.
Did you really?
Yeah, for a different podcast that I'm on, I watched
yeah?
Flash Gordon.
Oh, that's
and we
right. I
talked
forgot
about
something like that.
And yeah, it's bad.
It's
So
terrible.
if you have lovely memories of
It's
it as a
not their
kid,
cult classics.
if you have lovely memories of it from when you were a kid, just leave those memories in the past.
Don't ever
Don't
watch it.
revisit the movie because it's bad.
No, watch Ted instead though. Ted one
Yeah,
talks about it.
you can enjoy Sam Jones making a cameo as himself
Exactly.
with better acting in Ted
And a lot of
than he
cocaine.
gave in Flash Gordon.
A lot of coke. So the last bit of news.
But
because
Queen
we keep
music
things
is good.
great. Yeah, Queen is always good. Don't ever disappoint. So last bit of news. We actually had some games coming out. One game came out this past month. Zombieland Double Tap Road Trip came out
Yeah.
on 10/14. So
Tying together with the
actually-
movie.
Yes, yesterday it came out. I forgot that yesterday is the 14th. So that came out. So anyone who's a Zombieland fan, is a gamer, want to check it out, go for it. Next couple of months, we have some big games coming out. Need for Speed Heat comes out on 11/7/19. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order comes out on 11/15/19. I'm actually looking forward to
I've seen
the Joker wielding a lightsaber.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some of those previews for that one, and it looks pretty sweet. I'm a big Star Wars fan, and it looks pretty sweet. I will probably not play it.
But you have your wife over there who might, and you got your co-host here who probably will.
Yeah.
So one of us will be playing it. You can at least enjoy us while playing it. We also have the Dragon Ball Z Kakarot game coming out on 1/17/20.
No way.
I'm not looking forward for any more Dragon Ball
Yeah,
Z
that's
games.
that's we got another
That's-
3 months before that comes out.
Yeah,
That's,
even at
that's
that,
way in the
there's,
future.
yeah, there's a whole other thing to that one.
Luigi's
Um,
Mansion's coming out.
Luigi Mansion comes out on
October
10
1st.
with October the the end of the month.
Go take these some
See, we got little ones here too.
We're
We also
kid-friendly.
have we are kid friendly. Plants vs Zombie Battle for Neighborville comes out. So that'll come out actually. I think that comes out in a couple months. I believe that one comes out soon. So, but just for some game news, nothing else is really big. Like I said, we've mentioned before, Luigi Mansion comes out. We've mentioned some other games that are coming out soon.
Yeah.
But those are some other big ones that have kind of caught our attention that
Yeah,
I
and
might pick up.
we talked on previous episodes. Zombieland Double Tap is
Yep.
coming out.
Oh, yeah, that
Watchmen on HBO. The series debuts actually this coming Sunday.
So for all you Watchmen fans,
so-
now it does follow after the movie, right?
No,
So-
so it's a sequel. It's like 30 some odd years later after
Okay.
the comic. So it is.
Oh, that's right, because it's different a little
Yeah,
bit.
so the
We talked
movie
about that.
ending is different than the comic ending, obviously, and so this is a sequel to the comic.
Yeah.
And so actually, I picked up I picked up the comic the other day. I'm gonna read through it again, probably before I start watching the show. And we might have some discussion on it on this show. We won't spoil anything as we go through it, but maybe at the end of the series we'll do like a series review of it. We'll throw up a video about that. But I'm really looking forward to it. I love Watchmen. It's my favorite comic. And so really looking forward to seeing what they do, how they build on it. It'll
be interesting. So on that note, guys, we've been on for a bit. Please let us know if there's anything you guys ever want us to talk about, any suggestions you have for the show.
Or anything
No, chat's quiet right now. So yeah, guys, please let us know though. Like we love to hear your suggestions. We love to take your comments, and we do try to do different things. If you feel like, hey, you're not going the right route, let us know. And we'll see if we can work something in there for you and see if we can make it a little bit better. What's up?
A shout out from Lennon. Says you guys are awesome. I love this show.
Thank you, Lennon. I appreciate that.
You're awesome.
Hope you're doing well. I haven't seen you in a while. He's one of the San Antonio YouTubers. If you want to check out his channel, I think it's Lennon Cooks, I believe, or Lennon Cook. I can't remember how his channel name, and I apologize, bro.
Drop it in the comments.
Yeah, drop it in the comments. Thank you everybody who does support us. We are still getting off the ground, so again, any suggestions are always good suggestions. We'll take everything to heart. And help out. But remember, like, comment, subscribe. And we got a kiddo who's saying it's time to end this, I think.
She's ready to end.
So on that note, guys, stay geeky and enjoy your night.
Thanks.
Sweet.